Hey guys, how's it going? We are doing a regimental creation stream / ask me anything, AMA, etc. Unfortunately, this week's version, I guess, or this week's squad had to be cancelled due to unforeseen circumstances. I figured I'd give you something, so we're going to do a little bit of a recap. I'm going to give you guys an idea on what's happening in the campaign so far. And then we're going to talk about what regiments we might be creating and a few other things. So, I've been over this with the stream once already, but I forgot to hit record, so we're doing it again. Sorry, stream. So this is the initial landing site. If I hold it down, yeah, there you go. That's the initial landing site there, the kind of red circle. That's now basically the HQ. If you watched Squad 4, the Imperial Guard, which a lot of people did, they seem to be very popular, that's where they were. And then they set off and headed up to Hive-Latate here. So that was kind of the road that they took. What they actually did was they went kind of straight, and then they hit a road around about here. And then they were just following the road up. And they got attacked kind of from around here-ish probably. Yeah, about there. So the Imperial Line Regiment number blah 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 blah. Imperial Line Regiment. They landed here and then they pushed up this way and kind of secured this area mostly. This is like a mountain range type thing here. And there are mountains kind of all around, and hills kind of all around this area. So, and then the Breath of the Emperor landed about here, and they hooked up with the Imperial Line Regiment, helped them secure here and here. Now, what is currently going to be happening? Yeah, I can drag in some art to give you guys an idea. Let's have a look. Yeah, so what's currently happening is the regiments are moving to the position that their commanders chose for them. So, for example, the Imperial Line Regiment is heading over this way. The majority of what is wanted right now by the commanders, and we'll let's just drop you in. This might take a few moments, depending on the speed of your connection. Please wait. So what the kind of... Ooh, God, that's massive. There we go. So. Put them there. A little bit thin. Oh, God, don't move that. There we go. A little bit thin. There we go. Get a little bit of... No, a little bit of fatness. Sure, that much fatness. So, this is kind of the area where the... Sure. This is kind of the area where the Breath of the Emperor moved in, and what they're currently doing is they're kind of pushing up towards this way. The Imperial Line Regiment is actually going to be pushing down towards Gorlock Hive Network, kind of securing this area. So ultimately, what will probably happen is you'll have an engagement line here, maybe an engagement line around here somewhere. It depends how they play this thing, because something happened here. And then you'll probably have the Imperial Line Regiment here, and they'll have to start talking to the Hive Network, who are holding out. And then the... There we go. Let's just get a few of these guys in, so I can give you an idea of where everyone is. I love the art for this, it's so fucking good. There we go, and then... No, we don't really need the Imperial Line Regiment in, but the Naboon Banshees will need, and the Imperial Guard. I'll have to talk to the artist about maybe getting art for some of the other... it's expensive though. To be fair to him, he did say, you know, like, pay me what you want, but it was such good art. I was like, you gotta pay people a decent amount when they give you something amazing, right? That's how I kind of feel about it. So yeah, like, this art is so amazing. I was like, I can't just pay like a $5 you know, for shit, for like effort like this. And oh, there we go. So yeah, we'll have them about here. So these guys are probably around about here, I'd say. I'll do. So, the current situation that we have... is... the first squad were these guys. This is where they landed. They're now currently occupying this type of area. And they might be moving out over here to hook up with the Gorlock Hive network. I'm not sure what Brad's going to decide for his regiment. Then the second squad were these guys, the Naboom Banshee Regiment. They landed at Hive Bastort and then tried to insert into Hive Bastort, but they got a bit worried about the Orc tactics and the numbers and how many people they'd lose in the fight. So they decided to actually set up a defensive line to stop anyone coming out of the Hive or attacking them from behind. And now they're moving to engage with this. This is a Blood Axe army here that's kind of like taken up this... They landed on Hive Bastort with a rock, and then they poured out and started heading towards Hive Bastion. Hive Bastion currently is trying to hold them off, but not doing brilliantly, which is why Vandy's regiment... and I can bring you up the commanders here. So, Rourke Aegis is the commander of this regiment. Harkon Iron Broadside is the commander of this regiment. And Guy Smith, also Brad, let's just do that, is the commander of this regiment, the Imperial Line Regiment. So, Rourke Aegis is taking her regiment down to hook up with by Hive Bastion and then to create a line here. Like a defensive line here, and basically what they're going to try and do is they're going to try and have this army get destroyed by having these two regiments. Basically, you've got the Anvil and the Hammer, and Vandy's regiment, Rourke Aegis, the Sisyphean, Atlas Sisyphean Guard, are going to be the Anvil. They're going to set up a defensive line, and the Naboom Banshee Regiment, commanded by Broadside, is going to start pounding them into that hammer, into that anvil. So they're basically going to try and wipe out this army. It's going to be interesting. Neither regiment has taken many losses so far, so it is a possibility they could manage to do it. Talking about less successful regiments, Peachy's regiment, the Imperial Pegasi Guard, they are squad number 4. They tried to get to Hive Latate. They took a convoy up that way. It was protected, but they weren't really planning on things like bombers, kind of aircraft and that kind of thing. They had no anti-air. They're really poorly equipped, and they were lucky to take 50% casualties. I think it was 55% casualties total. So they moved up to about here, and then that's where the Orcs hit them, and they retreated all the way back. They're now back in the HQ in the claimed territory. I'll have to put the Imperial claimed territory in here as well. This map was made by Peachy Pixel 8, by the way. That's the number 8, not the letter 8. Awesome dude. He made this map for me because I suck at map making, and it just looks fucking amazing. I love it. I'm gonna have to like put some real time and effort into learning how to expand this map and make it look good and different. So yeah, that's the current situation. The Breath of the Emperor and the Imperial Line Regiment are probably going to kind of like take this area here. Basically, I think the plan currently is this section of the campaign is going to be claimed by the Imperium, by the regiments and this kind of thing. The only reason that it was a 55 casualty rate for the Imperial Pegasi Guard is they ran away the instant they got hit by the bombers. They literally half of their force that was coming up this way, they got hit by the bombers. They took about 50% casualties, and then they ran all the way back instantly. and they retreated really hard. So yeah, it was very much a case of like, fuck this, we're out, which does mean they've got a lot of men left, you know, like the Imperial Line Regiment took about 65-70% losses. This is in the invasion wave. It's not the entirety of their regiment. It's just the invasion waves, the units that were brought down in the campaign, like played out how it was played out. The Naboo Banshee Regiment, I think, took about 75-ish% casualties. I think the Line Regiment might even have been like 65 or 70%, about that. And then the Imperial, the Breath of the Emperor, these guys, their commander is Metamancer. They took about 85-90% casualties, because they kept on they kept on killing their own troops to, like, they'd kill like 5 troops to kill 10 orcs kind of thing. And they are also melee focused, so they took a shit ton of casualties. And the Atlas Sisyphean Guard haven't actually encountered the orcs yet, which is funny because they actually are the only ones who've ever fought orcs before. Their homeworld is invaded by orcs on a biannual basis. Acceptable casualties? Always accept. That's the entire Imperial Guard. Acceptable casualties. Dagathur, hey, how you doing? Also, hello to everyone else who's come in here to watch me build a regiment and maybe ask questions. So, the first thing I'm going to say is we are going to, in a little bit, jump into making a regiment. But first, are there questions in chat? Would anyone like to ask questions? Is there anything anyone's been wondering while you have me here? I'm perfectly happy to... do they have any orbital support? Technically speaking, they have some ships. The ships are transport ships. They aren't... Why are you unable to kill your players? Fuck you, Dotgast. I will kill you in a thing. Do they have any orbital support or air support? They do have air support. They do have some orbital support. The problem is it's really, really limited. Because these regiments are part of a larger force that is fighting an orc warg. This is like basically like an orc splinter fleet that's hit one planet. So basically, like, this is a very small conflict on one planet in a much bigger conflict, which means that the big fight is going on, you know, like thousands of ships and thousands of regiments, and they're all over the system and the sector, and this is a reasonably important, a reasonably strategically important planet, enough for them to send Imperial Guard, but not enough for them to send like heavy bombardment or anything like that. Basilisks, they do have basilisks. The thing is like, there's a limited supply of the good stuff. So they have Lehman Russes, and they have air support and things like that. But and also the Lord Commander has never fought orcs before. He didn't think they'd have aircraft or things like that. So, you know, the support they received was minimal. They had a chance to get good equipment. So, like, you may have noticed that the Imperial Pegasi Guard had much worse equipment than the Imperial Line Regiment, for example. Like, the Imperial Line Regiment had people with, like, power swords and power fists. Because Brad rolled really well on his commander stuff, you know, to get stuff for his regiment. And Peachy rolled really badly, so the regiment, the squad number 4 in the 4th set of, you know, games, they actually, some of them started without weapons or uniforms. Okay. If a regiment failed over and over, would it have to be absorbed by a different regiment? It might be stood down. It wouldn't be absorbed by another regiment. What would happen if it would have to be stood down if it didn't have enough troops, and a replacement would have to be sent for. Or they'd need to recruit more troops off the home world and get them in, and they'd be less trained and that kind of thing. The line regiment was fucking stacked. Yeah, it was. Brad rolled a crit success on his gear. So anything like aside from stuff the commanders may want, like I think McLocan's character wanted a melter gun and he got it, but most of the good shit went to the Imperial Line Regiment for just like the regular guys. All of us started without weapons, only one of the respawns started with a gun. Yeah. Will Oddhouse be back later on? Most likely. Are you going to expand this campaign in the future? Depends how popular it is, like how much people enjoy it and all that kind of thing. I'm considering running another show on the channel, another RP show with like fixed cost. I just need to make sure I'm earning enough to pay them, because basically the reason I run this campaign how I'm running it, well, part of the reason is I require very little commitment from my players, because I'd like to be able to pay all of my players, but I'm not earning really any money off Charlie Foxtrot. And it was very expensive to set up with like the art and quite a few other things I had to, buy and get rolling and everything. So, like, if it's popular and a whole load of people watch it and that kind of thing, then yeah, I can probably expand it and make it like into a bigger campaign thing. I already have a few ideas of where to take it, so. Aren't Pegasi Guard a penal regiment? They are technically a penal regiment, but they were raised as a they were raised as a regular kind of bit more line regiment. So they're very custom. They're very strange, but basically they're not specifically a penal legion or a penal regiment. But they do come from a penal world. There was a mistake in the administration, and the wrong world got raised. So yes and no. Pegasi are the Emperor's finest. They just happen to come from penal world. That's true. Line regiment had people with 2 power weapons, while some of the others had 0 weapons. Yeah. NPC did some good work. Bobby took out a buggy. Bobby managed to get a Ripper gun. So well done, Bobby. In the grim darkness of the far future, this show might have a chaos table. This show won't have a chaos table. I'd love to. I'd love to find a way to raise money for the show in a way to do that. But ultimately, like, having something like the chaos table to introduce crazy things, kind of like it's not how I want the feel of the show to be. This is a bit more serious. This is a bit more. I want the fun to come from the kind of the amount of work everyone puts into like creating the regiments and creating the setting and all this kind of thing. And having people come back and play their characters again, and slowly getting their characters stronger, but also maybe dying. Like death is still a big possibility in this game. Do the orcs also receive reinforcements? Technically speaking, at the moment, yes, a little bit, but they are going to have fixed. I am doing rolls to see like how much attention the orcs in general are paying to this battle. So it is possible in the future that more orcs will turn up from outside, but it depends how everything goes. I just don't want to become an affiliate again. I don't think. I mean, technically speaking, it would probably be easy to sign up to the affiliate program, become an affiliate again, and have, like, you know, Charlie Foxtrot themed emotes and everything. But unless I had 2 shows a week with decent viewership, I don't think it's really worth it, you know? And there hasn't been, like, a massive cry from people to be like, oh, we need subscriptions so we can subscribe to support Charlie Foxtrot. Because at the end of the day, you know, you can't subscribe currently. There doesn't seem to be much reason. Like, if you want to support the show, technically speaking, you could go to Patreon and just, you know, drop down $1. And that honestly would feel like more support than getting a Twitch sub, because it's a Twitch sub. You know, half of it goes to Twitch anyway, and yeah. Like rerolls for PC and NPC, maybe some small support, 2 shots of an artillery gun. Yeah, I see, the thing is like, I want this to feel difficult. And even with me not killing that many of the, players, it has still felt very difficult. I've always, even though the players have survived, I've always been worried that the players are going to die, like full party wipe. It's been very close a lot of the time. So, and also the regiments are getting a lot of injuries, a lot of damage done to them. It's still going to be a really hard fight, and that's kind of what I want. I wouldn't want the ability to make it a lot easier on the players or on me. I think the interesting thing about this campaign is just seeing how it goes, because I'm in control of very little. I'm in control of the orcs. Even what the regiments do and all that kind of thing. I make rolls to see how the orcs and the regiments do against each other, and the commanders make rolls and they make all of the decisions. Originally, the plan was for them to land up here. This was Lord Commander Nihilium's plan, to land up here and then to move down and go through this area and come out here. Terrible plan, but I rolled for him. That's what he decided. The commanders all decided to focus on this area, which is a much better plan. They've managed to grab, like, this territory here, which is great. Yeah. You know, I mean, one thing I might be willing to implement would be, like, Patreons are allowed to maybe introduce, like, soft complications, and we can have a chat about that maybe at some point. So anyone of Patreon tier, like, $5 or more, can, like, you know, we can have a chat and just talk about, like, complications and that kind of thing. Maybe, like, who knows? You can, like, maybe we could do, like, complications for a specific regiment or that kind of thing, and, like, have it be, like, an every now and then thing. I don't know. I'll work it out. But is the Lord Commander that came up with the plan incompetent, or did he just have a bad roll? Both. He's never fought orcs. He's only ever fought, like, secessionists and rebels, like human Imperials who have, you know, turned against the Imperium. He doesn't know much about orcs, and he's really out of his depth right now. He's been lucky in the fights that he's done, so he's been promoted, and he's never actually been defeated in a campaign. Like, battles and stuff he's lost, but he's never been defeated in a campaign before, so people consider him to be a really good commander. He's not that good. His rolls aren't amazing. So, yeah, I find it interesting to have, like, a fairly bad commander. So if like, Lord Commander, like, head of the army, the regimental commanders are all players, so they get to decide all of the tactics of the war. If they don't, then the Lord Commander will decide and he'll do stuff, but I prefer I like how this is played out, so that we have players deciding how the campaign's going to go, and then other players coming in and like playing it out. You know, so like Peachy's decision to which is Commander Hugo Dundee of the Imperial Pegasi Guard, he made a really smart decision to go up to Hive Latate and to try and get the food supply there, because that's going to be a big problem in the future. But the Orcs, unfortunately, he was badly supplied. His regiment was badly supplied, and the 4th squad, so like Doc and Bakra Zarefa, Unmade Gaming, and Mighty Rick, they had a rough time. It was always going to be a loss, unless they'd have like done something just ridiculous, or you know, if they'd have charged the army maybe, or you know, but it's the nature of the regiments. Sometimes you just have to do damage control, and that's what they did. They did a really good job of damage control within the constraints of their regimental personalities as well. You can also see Commissar Friendly and Heinrich Chard. Heinrich Chard is going to come into it not next week, but the week after. So he's going to be around then. With the first returning regiment, which is going to be really interesting. Okay, so is there anything else we need to talk about? Okay, yeah, one thing we need to talk about is the composition of the Orcs. So, from current intelligence gathered, you guys as viewers and the regimental kind of like intelligence doesn't know everything. What they do know is that there was a smattering of Death Skulls here who have been like pushed out and they've disappeared. There's a big army of Blood Axes here, and the Blood Axes also are in Hive Bastort. This, as far as anyone can tell, is made up of Evil Sons, the Speed Freaks. So this is going to be very heavily like battle wagons and jets and tanks and stuff like that. No one knows what this army comprises of. No one knows anything about Hive Krater. This is Hive Latate is food. Hive Bastern, I believe, off the top of my head, is ammunition. It's munitions. So it doesn't make weapons; it makes ammo. So if they get Hive Bastern before the Blood Axes take it, they will at least have ammo production sorted. So that will help them out a lot in not running out of supplies in terms of ammo. And then over here, Hive Bastort is mostly destroyed. Then these 5 all have like this kind of... they basically consider all of these outside hives to have walls. So the hives are defensive and they have walls all around them. So they're actually holding out really well. It's just that they've abandoned all of the other hives to concentrate on themselves. And honestly, like, one of the better ideas that the commanders had was to take Hive Latate and to use that to basically barter or bully this hive network into cooperating with them, because they don't have food production down here. They have a little bit of food production, but they will start running out, so... Are any of the regiments equipped to deal with air attacks? There are air forces. There are some of them. And probably the Imperial Line Regiment and the Atlas Sisyphean Guard have enough static defenses for anti-air. So a little bit, but they're not super equipped, which is why we're making this regiment. Because the Imperial Pegasi Guard, they can't deal with all of these tanks and everything. But this regiment that we're going to be creating, they will be able to. So I'm going to be interested if the commanders, like, stick by their stubborn we can do this attitude, or whether they request the help of another regiment that's nearby. We are making a 6th regiment, yes. Shall I bring up an image quickly for you guys? to give you guys an idea of what regiment we are making today. That gives you an idea of what regiment we're making today. Yes, we are making Rough Riders. So we're going to make a Rough Rider regiment who are going to be the optional reinforcements. Wonder if I can stick that somewhere just so you guys can... Oh, there we go. It can be done here. There we go. So, let us get on with that, shall we? Bring this over. Oh, apologies. Here we are. So, I believe these are the... You can see, like, the Death Riders of... Wait, let's go to here. You can see the... oh, bloody bollocks. Brontian Long Knives. No, Death Riders of Krieg. There we go. So, these are the Death Riders of Krieg. A siege regiment would be useful as well as a backup. Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe like an armor regiment, so that they can be specifically deployed. But those, like, I'm thinking of like armor regiment, or maybe like more mobile anti-air, anti-tank regiment. Because like the Death Riders, the Rough Riders are going to be good for... They're going to be good basically for like anti-tank, and they're going to be mobile enough that they don't really need to worry about the bombers. Maybe the fighters, but not the bombers. But yeah, some kind of siege regiment would be good. Siege attacking. We don't really have a siege attacking regiment. So, we'll have a think. But let's just have a look at the Death Riders of Krieg. You can have an idea of what they're like. So... You can see they get some agility, some toughness, some willpower. Stunning aptitudes. We don't really worry about stunning aptitudes because I don't use aptitudes the way this game works. Imperial Creed, Common Laws, Intimidate, Linguistics, Survival, Catfall, Nerves of Steel, Unshakable Faith, Unstoppable Charge. Unstoppable Charge would probably be good. Members of Death Riders of Krieg must pass an ordinary willpower test in order to retreat from combat. Can you imagine if the what's it called? The Imperial Pegasi Guard had that. Oof. They would have had to pass a test to retreat. Heavy Lancers, Wounds, Standard Regimental Kit. 2 hunting lances, las pistol, 4 charge packs, crack grenades, frag grenades, smoke grenades, set of field gear. Okay. And then you got like the Kasserkin. Last chances. They're a penal legion. They're actually a penal legion. Have I missed anything? Rough Riders are anti-armor. Yeah. So, will there, with this new regiment, be another commander for the war room thingies as well, or just a regiment? Yes, there will be another commander. And I think I know who I want. It will depend. It will depend, but we'll see. Okay, so the important thing that we're going to have to do is... Okay, so yes, okay, so there are new homeworld options. That's good. What page is it? 36. Okay. So, new regimental option, new homeworlds. We've got an agri world, probably not an agri world, I'd say. A feral world or a feudal world, could be either of those. A forge, maybe a frontier world would be interesting. +3 to any of the following: agility, ballistic skill, perception. Probably agility and perception. Frontier world characters start with awareness, linguistics, navigate surface, and survival. That sounds like what I'm looking for. Do poke the tanks with the spear? Yeah, we'll go into what they have as well. Frontier World characters gain the combat sense or quick draw. Probably combat sense, maybe quick draw. Frontier Worlders are more accustomed to working far from others than many of their counterparts. Okay, on the battlefield, this frequent translate willingness to strike out. The comrades, okay, that doesn't really. I'll put a different something into that. I think that may turn into the independent operation means they can work well separately. I guess. Katachan jungle fight as much. Yeah. Distrustful of authority. That kind of makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Mining colony. Probably not. Right? Yeah, probably not. Okay. Let's look at the core rules and just see if any of the others make sense. So where's the regiment creation? Okay, so 59 homeworld. Let's see if any... I think Frontier World would be the one. Death World possibly, but I don't want to make them too... We have a Death World set already. Fortress World, no. Highborn. Highborn, possibly. That could be interesting. It wouldn't be great for the Rough Riders, but it would give them a good ability to get gear, and it'd be interesting, considering all of the regiments that are already there, to have a Highborn Rough Rider regiment to turn up. Hive World, Imperial World, Penal Colony. Wait, is that still... These are still Origins? Okay, Penitent. Okay, so Penitent, yeah, we don't need Penitent. Scholar Progenium basically means that there's like a military... Stormtroopers, basically, I guess. Interesting. We'll go into that. I think... Oh, God. I forgot that this is... Some of the PDFs are weird. I think... Frontier World makes the most sense. Cavalry used to be a prestigious branch of armies across the world, so Highborn could work. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is like Highborn could work, but I don't know. I think like the Rough Riders would need to be a bit more independent. I think it would be interesting to have a Highborn World regiment later on. Like a very stuck-up commander who's, you know... Yeah. But I think we'll go with Frontier World. So... What we're going to do... Let's bring up the... So I don't need to keep this as mysterious anymore. Rough Riders. Okay. Oh, God damn it. I keep doing that. So. Do that. Okay, +3 would probably be agility and perception. I don't think they're going to be shooty, specifically. So, +3 to agility and perception. There we go. Are armored regiments a thing? Pretty sure they are, yeah. Pretty sure. Match the Highborn Frontier, or indeed Highborn Feudal. I'll keep it simple for now. I'll talk to the commander when I, definitely get a commander for this, and we'll discuss whether he wants like a Highborn thing, because the Highborn can just be a, it could be a Frontier World where Highborn people were taken, and etc. etc. So that could play out in RP, the Highborn set of it. that's basically the Sisyphean Guard. Yeah, the Sisyphean Guard are a Fortress World defensive legion. A defensive regiment, so that kind of does play in there. No, that's wrong. Yep, there we go. You could make shooty cavalry one. Yeah, you can make shooty cavalry, but I think what's needed and what kind of the feel of it that I like so far is that there's there we go. I like the feel of having kind of a more lancey, less shooty, because they're specifically going to be going anti-tank or like anti-mobile stuff. So yeah, they're kind of going to be raiders a little bit and anti-tank a little bit. Shooty lances? I don't think you can have shooty lances, as far as I know. We could see. So independent operation, I'm just going to chuck that in there, and we'll come up with something that makes a bit of sense for that later. Distrustful of authority. So take that. Okay. Just grab that. This is the one annoying thing about doing this. It kind of adds a lot of time when you have to do this to get everything looking so that you don't want to rip your eyes out. Whoops. There we go. There we go. Okay, so that's the Frontier World part done. +3 agility and perception. The skills they start with: awareness, linguistics, navigate surface, and survival. I like all of that. Then we have the independent operation, which we'll figure out, and then distrustful of outsiders, especially people. Distrustful of what's it called? Distrustful of authority. There we go. Independently operating. I think that kind of makes sense. Like, it's just there we go. Okay, good. Saved that bit. Now we'll go further. Next bit we go on to is the training and doctrines. So the regimental type will be Rough Riders. Rough Rider Regiment, here we go. So we get all of this. There we go. So here's the standard kit. Starting talents Catfall. Kind of makes sense, I guess. +3 agility, -3 ballistic skill. 1 hunting lance per player character, 1 las pistol, 4 charge packs, 1 flak jacket and flak helmet, 1 riding beast per player character. See mount profiles on page 138. Okay, so we'll go there soon, and we'll have to make their mount as well. Man, if this commander messes up on his gear roll, he would have a cavalry unit with no horses. I wouldn't take their horses away, otherwise they wouldn't be Rough Riders, you know? I may make their... or they won't necessarily be horses, but yeah. 1 saddle per player character, 2 saddlebags, 1 set of riding tack, reins, harnesses, etc. Okay, okay. That's cool. So that's fairly simple. Now, training doctrines. We could give them anti-armor and heavy lancers. Okay, what's heavy lancers? So anti-armor gives us common law tech, tank hunter. Anti-armor members of anti-armor regiments add an additional amount of penetration to their weapons equal to the degrees of success on the attack roll when attacking vehicles. That would be really useful for them. Heavy lancers, fleet-footed beasts, bred for charge. Such warriors specialize in breaking infantry lines, destroying vehicles, demoralizing nearly any foe. Heavy lancers excel at the charge and train extensively for this purpose. Members of a heavy lancer regiment increase the distance their mounts can move as a part of a crushing charge mounted special action. Okay. Twice the mount's agility bonus. The Krieg horses basically tanks with how much pain they can take. Yeah. I mean, infiltrators kind of are interesting, but skirmishers, again. We have a skirmisher regiment. It's the Imperial Guard, weirdly. I think anti-armor makes sense here. Having them be specifically tank hunters could be really interesting for the regiment. So just do this for now. Means I'll have to do a bit of this, but that's fine. So what do you guys think so far? Do you reckon this is like makes sense? I mean, the heavy lancers, they get like more of a move with a charge, but the heavy lancers are meant to like charge into infantry. Them being from Frontier World, skirmishers would also make sense, but Warhammer belongs in Warhammer category, not D&D category. Okay, Shadzar. Where's the Warhammer category? I still think explosive lances could be kick-ass. Maybe a bonus for a really good gear roll. Oh, don't worry. We're going to get to lances, because there's some really cool stuff for lances. Oh, yeah, no, that's the Warhammer tabletop, I'm pretty sure, Shadzar. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's Warhammer tabletop. Like, the battle game. This is preparation for an RP show, so, you know, yeah. Okay, special equipment. Cavalry mounts. Each member of the regiment has a personal mount, such as the... Nope, all from Rogue Trader to Fancy to Twitch added it by hand for all forms of Warhammer. Let's have a look. See again. Watch Warhammer channels streaming live on Twitch. Sign up or log in to join the community and follow your favorite Warhammer streamers. Okay. Cool. Doesn't specifically say what Warhammer it is though, so. Okay. Along with the mount, trooper has all necessary equipment or tack required for... We don't really need cavalry mounts if we are already a Rough Rider regiment, though, do we? Yeah, see, it'll get you 2 riding beasts per player character. I don't really think that's needed. Weren't you here last week, Shadzar? Like, complaining about me not being in the... What was it? You're complaining that I wasn't in the tabletop RPGs and not D&D? I think. Okay, so, what do we got here? Prey Sense goggles. Have you been streamer one group things in D&D often? No. I only run this show. I put it in D&D. Members of Regiment gain plus 10 bonus to logistic tests. Covert Strike doesn't really make sense. Requiring an in-depth knowledge of the ins and outs of battlefield communication. Typically per view, okay. No matter where they fight, equipped with some of the most sophisticated listening broadcasting equipment. That's interesting. Because they could be scouts as well. Also, the forward observation, maybe. Yeah, I thought so. He was here last week. So forward observation, maybe Vanguard. Oh no, Vanguard is Siege. Considered elite amongst Siege regiments. Deadly combat prowess of elite infantry with the cunning technical acumen of Siege engineers. Interesting. Where the average Siege engineer's mission is more defensive, digging trenches, breaching walls. Okay. Well-equipped chimeras to destroy infrastructure, sabotage logistical. Okay, that's interesting. Do they have farmhouses on their ship for the ponies? Probably not. They probably have, like, something, I don't know. Vanguard, probably not. Forward observation, possibly. Is there anything else? Regimental drawback. Okay, so we'll have a think about that in a bit. Okay, so this is boring. There we go. I'm not really in the mood to field questions that just, like, everyone has. I didn't ban you. You can come back in the future sometime, but, you know. So. Stealth speed and knowledge. So if we had forward observation, it would be a good way for the regiment to, like, scout and then strike, but it might be worth going with something else. Let's have a look here. So, regimental type, we've done that. It's the, back to the creationing part, back to the creationing part. I'd love to talk to him properly about, like, where the appropriate place to stream an RP show is, but ultimately, you know, at the moment, D&D is the place where everyone goes to watch RP shows. There are some people who are diligent and go to tabletop RPGs, but not really that much, so. I don't know. I'll keep an eye on the Warhammer category, and then just maybe, if it seems like there's a lot of people there and they're interested in an RP show, I may try it out and see how it goes. So, special equipment. Wait, there's a scavenger's special equipment? That really should go to, where is that? There we go. Regiment may choose to gain a +10 on logistics. However, on any test where this bonus is used, if any doubles are rolled, whether test was success or failure, then the scavenging stealing attracts unwanted attention from higher authorities. That could be useful. That could be very useful for, do they have that? Maybe I forgot about that. Yeah. Imperial Pegasi Guard. Dundee Guerrilla, Training Doctrines, Marksman, Low Sticks. Oh, they should have got, they do get an additional knife, I know that, but they should get a crate of Low Sticks per squad. Interesting. Although, technically, I think they probably lost those, or sold them, just because of Peachy's bad rolls. Okay. I'm okay with that. So, warrior weapons. Warriors from primitive worlds are often ill-suited to serve firing lines, often serve armed with swords, axes. Okay, regiment exchanges their main weapon for a common, low-tech weapon and a las pistol with two. Technically, we've kind of got that. Yeah, pen and paper. But like a lot of people, you know, a lot of people who watch a lot of RP shows and stuff just generally term it D&D. It's one of those things. I assume the low sticks were amongst the loot we had stashed away. Yeah, that would have That makes sense. I may re-implement them later if Peachy rolls better and like gets you guys some gear, but for now, I don't know. Combat drugs, augmetics. Interesting. Demolitions, probably not. I don't know. I don't think we'll take any special equipment doctrines. So this is the basic standard kit. Okay. There we go. So we'll have to put that in along with the hunting lance and everything. Is there a siege regiment? There is a defensive siege regiment. So the Atlas Sisyphean regiment is defensive. They are specifically designed to build trenches and fight trench warfare defensively. And they have grenade launchers as well, so they have a little bit of like aggressive as well. Do the low sticks do anything? I mean, to the numbers, not really. No. They can probably trade them. That's about it. Is there special equipment doctrine for anti-tank grenades? Well, we're going to get to the anti-tank stuff. That will come up soon. Additional standard kit. It'd be interesting if they had a las carbine as their main weapon instead of a las pistol. Because las carbines are kind of Wild Westy. The Naboom Banshees actually do a lot of city fighting, so they wouldn't be able to siege a hive world particularly well, but they would be able to fight inside a siege hive world. So, Magnoculars would be good. I don't know. We'll see. I'm wondering whether we should randomize the commander. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, let's see what we get. A 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Melancholic. Regiment's commander is careful and introspective, but his will is not what it once was, having suffered greatly in crucible of war. While loyal, his leadership is hampered by hesitation and pessimism. His warriors are often forced to rely more on their own initiative in battle, taking charge themselves when their superiors falter. Interesting. I think I might go with that. It's interesting. So. So this might be a veteran regiment, maybe a bit smaller, but very elite. Okay, so I think that's everything we need to do here. Let's go over to. So that's the cavalry mounts. Let's see what we've got here. I'm just gonna check out all these homeworlds. Maybe there's something here that makes sense, but I don't think so because this is more like religious. Lathe worlds, Ogren world, post-cataclysmic, Rattling, Shrine world, Void world. No, none of these. Maybe post-cataclysmic could be interesting, but yeah, it fits well with the frontier world background. Horrors of the past, scarred mentally, perhaps physically. Probably not. Yeah, Shrine world also probably not. So none of these really make sense. Super heavy armored regiment is they start with the Bane blade. per squad. So they're like an armor regiment, which is something I may consider later as like an additional extra for some of the regiments. Like, so it's very possible Vandy's regiment, the you know, they could get this as like an extra thing. Training doctrines: Crusaders, Defender of the Faith, Defender of the Omnissiah, Demolitionists, Sappers, Snipers. No, none of those. No. Automated Artillery, bonded to the Machine Cult, Cyber Enhanced, Breachers, Ogren Weapons, Reliquary, Saber Battery, Servitor. I don't think any of these either really work. Saber Defense Platforms. That's another thing. Peachy did give us a raid call. Peachy, hey, how you doing? Guys, give Peachy some love. Love, Peachy. And those raid calls are about what I expect from Peachy. Wow, Urkel, good one with the shout out. They barely had any raiding done, and you'd already shouted it out. Guys, as is the customary thing on Twitch, defend with my emotes. Oh wait, only I have my emotes. Ah. Yes, if you like this music, or the music on Charlie Foxtrot, that person who just raided is Peach Pixel8. He made the music, it's fucking awesome. And if you go to his Patreon, cool, chuck his Patreon in the chat, mate. If you go to his Patreon, you can actually get the music for my game off his Patreon, and other stuff as well. But my music's the important bit. Traitors, Warp Delayed, Primitive. What does Iconoclast mean? There you go, there's Peachy's Patreon. If you want the music, go give him money for a bit. Or forever. Go give him money and forget about it. Fuzzy, what the fuck? Hey Fuzzy, how you doing? Thanks for the raid. Peachy, we're making a 6th regiment. They're Rough Riders. Hi Peachy, loved you and roll for it. Eat a dick. Hey Peachy, loved you on Roll For It. Hey Peachy, what's the next time you're on Roll For It? Rough Riders means no condom, right? Thank you Fuzzy and Peachy Pixel8, both for the raids. Guys, go follow them and stuff. They're dicks. Yeah, Peachy's also here, incidentally, so that joke doesn't work as well, because Peachy was actually on Roll For It. We can't, no, I mean, Iconoclast, no. Primitive, no. Tainted, Traitors, Warp Delayed, no. Hi Peachy, please do more RPGs with E and Fuzzy. I'm actually I've been in 2 shows with E and Fuzzy, so yeah. That joke doesn't work. Unless you're actually being serious, in which case, oh god no. I hate them both. I'm gonna go with forward observation. I think that kind of works for these guys, and it gives them the ability to see stuff. Which is good. We'll work it out further later. We know Fuzzy tried to raid Peachy first. Oh, okay. Cool. So, what you guys are coming in on is my tits. And also, I'm making a new regiment for my RP show, Charlie Foxtrot. Which Fuzzy's been on, and technically Peachy's been on, but he's only been on as a commander, not really as a player yet. Okay. I get sloppy seconds? Of course I do. Okay, so next thing is regimental drawbacks. Cloud of suspicion. That might work. That might work. Condemned, cult of chivalry, dishonored. Raid when EE fuzzy. EE to fuzzy, and then fuzzy to sheepy. Hey Dark Lord Snuggles. You will be happy to know if you didn't catch it, which I think you did catch it. Snuggles, the Cow Emperor, took out Darth Nugs like quite handily. So Fuzzy was the worst medic I've ever seen in existence. Just the worst. Mistrusted might be better. Maybe incompetent leadership. I don't think so. We've got something that kind of works for that. So I think we'll go with mistrusted and maybe like regimental rivalry. I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's see how much they fit. Last episode was amazing. I hope those of you who do watch Rogue Trader Lost really enjoyed yourselves, because I loved that one. No, not that. Dishonored? No, we're looking for mistrusted. There we go. Okay, mistrusted. I'm surprised. Hey, Cav. I'm surprised she didn't OD someone on morphine. Yeah. Yeah. To be fair to Fuzzy, her character was a battlefield medic, which basically means someone shoved a medical thing in her face and went, "You're a medic now." To be unfair to Fuzzy, Fuzzy said, "I want to be a medic," and then meleeed an orc to death. So I think what we can learn here is A, the army sucks, and B, Fuzzy has no idea what she wants to do, like, ever. Love you, Fuzzy. I tried. I feel like you didn't try. I feel like you tried to heal a couple of people, realized that you'd much prefer your character to survive, and then sacrificed all of your patience to keep surviving. Stabbing an enemy orc in the eye with a medical utensil is not the same as that is not the same as being a medic. That's called killing an enemy. Okay, advanced field training. Okay, yeah. Brawler, Breacher. These are like classes, but I might take some of it as we go through the regiments. I don't know who Krieg is or what Borderlands 2 is. I mean, I know what Borderlands 2 is, but I've never played it, I don't think. I played a Borderlands for a bit, and I didn't like it. Commander, is there a Rough Rider, like, thing here? Because it would be a good idea to like, get an idea of what we need. Scout. Rough Rider? Sentry. I don't think they have a Rough Rider thing. Okay. Sheepy's actually slowly learning exactly how much he needs to pee. So... okay, no. Then we've got talents and comrade orders and all that kind of thing, so no, that's fine. Now what we need to do is we need to go down to 40. Krieg is a bandit in Borderlands 2. He's the melee type of character. Okay. I need to go. Food's happening. See you later, Fuzzy. Cheers for popping in, and thank you for the raid that also is EE's people as well. Yay. Those of you who don't know what this is, but recognize me as the GM of Rogue Trader Lost, I run another 40k show, which is this, Charlie Foxtrot. at this time every week on this day in this place. Yeah. I'm... Unfortunately, this week was cancelled because people had issues, and I was like, yes, no, we will cancel it because it's... I don't want people missing it. 138, there we go. But next week is going to be the final regiment doing a thing. Yeah, so the last regiment that we haven't gotten to yet doing a thing, and then we will see what we see. I think another commander video is coming up as well, so you guys should look forward to that. However, for a moment, I'm going to disappear because I desperately need to pee. So this will probably be in the video because I'll forget to edit it out, or I won't be able to find it in time, and I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just going to pee quickly. Feel free to stare at the mount traits. Actually, you know what I'll give you? No, I'll give you the mount traits. That's cool. Okay, bear back. Never fear, Sheepy is back. I saw a question for me. Also, Sheepy, are you going to be a player on the second Rogue Trader show, or will you jam that one as well? Really hope you get to play for once. EE has offered to GM it, so yes, I should be a player, hopefully. Also, yes, Peachy, edit this out. Okay, many beasts have special traits that increase special abilities. Okay, but how does that mount profiles? Okay. So is this thrown from the saddle, mounted fighting? Okay, so this is all about mounted action, mounted combat. Here we go. Riding unto battle. Swim, climb, or fly. That could be interesting if we had flying. If we had like they'd need to be ballistic though. So did I miss anything? People Rough Riders, but on lizards? Maybe we'll see. I'm not sure what we're gonna have as the mount yet. Especially the tired and hungry kind, the screamers. Best thing I know about it after a day at work. Okay, so evasive riding, crushing charge. Crushing charge is like move towards the target at least 4 meters away, but still within its charge move. Rider makes a single melee attack, plus 20 weapon skill. He inflicts 1 hit that can't be parried, and his target must take a challenging strength against the mount or be knocked prone. So not only do you hit him, you knock him prone. That's pretty cool. Evasive riding, full action, canter, gallop, mount, dismount, full action. I guess that could make sense. Rearing strike, So, okay, so you attack with your mount. That's interesting. Flying cavalry, yeah. Sidestep, soaring leap, strike and fade. Attacking while riding, wounding mounts, okay. Thrown from the saddle. When a rider is thrown, leaps or otherwise falls, suffers damage to those fallen from a height of 1d5 meters. They have catfall, so that should help. And then you got the mount critical effects. You can get crushed. Ew. Blighted, crippled, fire, starvation, passengers and encumbrance, and you've got like bread for war. Okay. Mount is used to rigors of combat and the din of battle, and thus automatically passes all willpower tests to avoid fleeing due to the bestial trait. Okay. Is this new regiment gonna have standard horses, or are their mounts also going to be personalized for the regiment? I'll probably personalize the mount for a regiment. I was thinking some type of like evolved bear, but I don't know why. I don't think it would be appropriate. I think it needs to be agile, like agile as fuck. Hey, blog here. Enduring. Mount gains plus 30 bonus to toughness tests due to dehydration and starvation. Can carry one additional passenger. No, not really. Loyal, maybe. Or wiry, possibly. Irritable, not terribly friendly at the best of times. Mount gains plus 20 bonus to survival test to use charge and rearing strike. Fails a survival test to control it. He adds one additional degree as failure. Okay, okay. Bear horse hybrids, giant lizards. We're getting some good suggestions. Thanks, guys. Okay, wiry is. It cannot carry passengers or any additional equipment, but it counts its agility bonus as being too higher for the purposes of movement. A mount with this trait cannot be given the enduring trait. Maybe like wiry and terrain master. Okay. Just a small selection of some of the varied exotic steeds that have found their way. So we've got the Athex, which is this thing. That looks really cool. I like that. That dude's cool. Oh. Mutated ostriches. I was thinking about some kind of like semi-flightless bird. What's his damage? Shredding, claws and teeth. 1d10 plus 7 tearing. Fucking hell. A Grox. Krieg, Death, Rider Horse. A horse. Apparently the Grox is a great thing to eat. So. Emus, Emos, Moa. The Maru. Winged feline creatures known as Maru were brought to the Calixis sector. That's kind of cool. Winged feline's kind of cool. Okay. Makali. So that's the Talon Desert Raider mount. Venumex. Gangly, lean, walks on 2 legs. Perfectly adept at hunting smaller animals. The Urseer, that's got to be a bear, right? Frozen World. Muscular predators, thick fur. They sound like bears. Giant warp ferrets. That would be fun. Usanox. Teleporting ferrets would be dope as well. Yeah, they're not really big enough. They're kind of more dog-sized, like large dog-sized, as I remember. Some of them. Obviously, the one that Gideon has, like, can fit on his shoulders. So, Usanox. Okay, gives me an idea of some of them. When creating a new kind of mount, the characteristics below... Use the characteristics below as a baseline. The GM or players creating the mount then divide 60 additional points amongst its characteristics. No more than 30 points could be put into a single characteristic, except in rare cases at the Game Master's discretion. Most mounts should have an intelligence and fellowship characteristic of 20 or lower. Okay. Well, let's create the mount, shall we? So, we'll save the Rough Riders for now. This is such a big Roll20 now. Like, all the crap that I've created. And that other people have created and everything. So, regimental templates. This will go here. And we'll call it, for now, Rough Rider Mount. And then we'll duplicate it. Save it. And we'll call this the... Rough Riders. I can't deny it. Riders. There we go. Okay. So, Rough Rider Mount. I'm just going to move this over here for a second so I can copy things over. So, 20 weapon skill. 0-1 ballistic skill. 30 strength. 30 toughness. 30 agility, 10 intelligence, 25 perception, 20 willpower, 10 fellowship. Okay, so awareness and survival skills as rank 1 known. Okay, so awareness and survival, rank 1 known. Okay, so we've got 60 points. So we'll just put this here. So we've got 60 points, and we can no more than 30 points into a single characteristic. Okay, so weapon skill I think will increase by 20. Puts us at 40. Strength and toughness I think we increase by 5. Takes us down to 30. That's 20, cheapy. That's 20. Agility, I'd like to increase by quite a lot. Intelligence. Perception, I'm going to increase by 15 to take it to 40 for now. So that takes us down to 15. Oh, yeah, that's already rough, isn't it? Let's reduce this by 5, so take it to 30. Actually, take it to 35. So that's going to be 20. And then I'd like willpower, intelligence, and fellowship all up. I'd also like the agility up. Actually, you know what? Let's keep the strength and toughness at 30. There's no reason to increase them. There we go. No, that's wrong. I added 10. So it'd be back to 40. There we go. Okay. So we've added 15 there. We've added 20 there. Wait, 15 there? Yeah, we've added 15 there. We've added 20 there, and that's it so far. So that's 35, so that'd be 25? No, 45? 25 out of 5, that takes us to 50, and then okay, so no, it'd be 25? No, it can't be 25. Why is my brain not working? Oh god. Okay, take 20 away from, so to 40, and then take 15 away from that, it takes us to 25. Wait, no. 5, 35, 10, yeah, okay. 25, I don't know why that was hard for me. Anyway. Cool. I'm at 30. I think. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So. Perception. No, okay. Perception is supposed to be 25. I added 15. And I added 15, so I should be at 30. Okay, that makes so much more sense. I'm stupid. Ignore me. We're carrying on. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Okay, so... What do we want here? We want probably... We could put 5 in intelligence, 5 in fellowship. It feels a little bit not worth it. Honestly, I'd like their agility really high. But also, they will need to make survival, which is perception. So that's good. Awareness is perception. Dodge will be agility. I want them to be fast. This is the thing. Okay. So let's go with 20 in agility. Yeah. Let's go with 20 in agility and then 5 in intelligence and fellowship. For now. We can always come back to it. There we go. So next up is ability points. After determining mount's characteristics, the GM or players decide which skills, talents, and traits it should possess. A mount has a budget of 12 points that the GM or players creating it can divide between its various attributes and abilities, as detailed but down below. Okay, so put 15 in there. 15? No, sheepy. 12. Come on. There we go. So let's bring this over here and have a look. GM or players creating the mount can choose to add 1 or more additional skills from the following list at rank 1. Athletics, dodge, and stealth. For 1 point each. I think I will add all of those. So athletics, dodge, and stealth. So that's going to be 3 points, so that will put us down to 9. Okay? Oh, God, I didn't mean to do that. Mounts do not begin with any talents by default. Choose to add 1 or more talents. Okay, so blind fighting, catfall, crushing blow, die hard, frenzy, hard target. Hard target, I think, would probably be one to go for. Because I'm pretty sure that's really good. So, where are the... There we go. Hard target. I can look up these later. Hardy, heightened senses, iron jaw, jaded, leap up, resistance, and sprint. We will take sprint. So put that down to 7. Fellowship would allow it to... Do mounts level up like players? I might have the players, like, name their mounts and level them up as they go. Sprint, I think, was the one I was taking? Yeah, sprint. Okay. So I've got 7 points left. We'll come back to the talents. I want those ones, definitely. All mounts begin with bestial size and natural weapons. Okay. So... Bestial size... 5... Natural weapons? Weapons. There we go. Natural weapons. Okay, cool. Bestial size 5, natural weapons traits. GM can then choose to add 1 or more additional traits from the following list. Amphibious, blind, bred for war, brutal charge 3, crawler, dark sight, deadly natural weapons, enduring, fear 1, flyer, loyal. I want loyal. What does loyal do? Oh. It's up here, I think. Over time, some creatures develop a sense of loyalty to their riders, expressing this in a willingness to perform dangerous actions, and in the way they will stay with their masters to the bitter end, often waiting with the body of a fallen rider, unaware that their companion is seriously injured or even dead. Gonna make me cry. Loyal mounts do not leave their riders when they are thrown from the saddle. Further, riders gain a +10 bonus to survival tests when attempting to control a mount with this trait. I'm going to take loyal. That is gonna be sad. And that's going to take away one more. 6. What does Bred for War? This mount is used to the rigors of combat and the din of battle, and thus automatically passes all willpower tests to avoid fleeing due to the bestial trait. Interesting. Maybe bred for war, and but I'm not sure they are bred for war. I don't think they are bred for war because it's a frontier world. So they're not bred for war, they're bred for the frontier world, you know? Also, thank you to the people who followed me, Scalamander, Multipath Interference, and Ayazamed123. Appreciate the follow, guys. Crazy Human 123, thank you. It's nice doing this because I don't usually get a chance during Charlie Foxtrot to thank people for following me. Because obviously I don't want stuff up. That sounds useful for AT cavalry. The bred for war or the wiry? Yeah, terrain master as well would be really useful. Maybe enduring because frontier. Enduring. Toughness test makes due to dehydration or starvation. Yeah, that would kind of make sense. I would say loyal, terrain master, and wiry. That's going to be quite a lot of points, but I think it's worth it. So that's 2 more minus. So it goes down to 4. We're running out. Terrain master and wiry. Irritable does sound like it would be fun, but to be anti-tank, these guys need to specifically like be good at outmaneuvering their targets and being able to go over terrain that their targets can't go over, and also be a lot faster and like, you know, faster moving and stuff is going to be really useful. So I think that's what I'm going to go with here. Let's head back down and see what else we have. Oh, well, went too far. Okay. Wiry, okay, we'll go back up, because I know what it does, but off the top of my head, I can't explain it properly. It can only carry its rider, plus the equipment and weapons. It can't carry passengers or additional equipment. It counts its agility bonus as being 2 higher for the purposes of movement. So basically, it moves faster and further. So speed, agility, armor penetration is what's needed. Yeah, basically. That's what I'm thinking. It doesn't need to attack itself, because these guys are going to be specifically trying to deal with the... They're going to be specifically anti-tank, and I think the frontier world that they're on is, like, filled with Titan, you know, like behemoth animals that they hunt. So. But with wiry, you can't have enduring. I didn't take enduring. Wait, did I take enduring? I don't think I took enduring. Yeah. Loyal, terrain master, wiry. Enduring sounded good, and it made sense. But for the, like, so you've got the frontier world, and you've also got the fact that they're now tank hunters. And with tank hunters, you can either go, like, armored and strong, or you can go quick and kind of lightning attacks. And I think what these guys are going to be, they're going to be much more like hit and run and that type of thing. So enduring is good, but so basically they're Space Australia. Not really Space Australia, I wouldn't say, but we already have a Space Australia. Nope. Okay, so we do have Loyal Machine. Oh, Loyal or Machine. So you can have machine mounts, interesting. Natural Armor, Paralytic Venom, Placid, Quadruped. So they don't start off as quadruped, okay. Regeneration, size 6, skittish. Sonar scent, stampede, sturdy. Unnatural characteristic, any one. If you think the emus beat the Australian military, why is Australia not run by emus? Wait, Doc, are you an emu? Let me know. Some mounts have crushing. Okay. So you can add weapon qualities, but again, you can have like a breath weapon or a spine shot and that kind of thing. We're not making a Rough Rider regiment that's going to focus on its mounts being the killers. So, I think unnatural characteristic will go agility, which will make it faster. So, unnatural agility 2. So we put that in there. So currently it can run 42 meters. So if you use a run action, it goes 42 meters currently. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Give it a spiky tail. Is that an option? Corrosive, proven, razor, sharp, tearing, toxic. You could probably give it some kind of tail like that, yeah. Is there anything... natural armor? Probably not. It's not, like, heavy. I think quadruped as well. So, more men than guns, and they ended up retreating. Sounds just like the Pegasi Guard. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, we're going with quadruped. Okay. So, quadruped. And that's one more down. So we've got 3 left, and they start with 12 wounds. So plus 6, so 18 wounds. That's not bad. I think 18 wounds is going to be pretty good. It means that in one way at least, they're quite tough. Okay. I don't know what... I guess they don't have any armor. Although technically you could maybe armor them, but you probably wouldn't want to. So... Okay. We took hard target, right? Yeah, hard target, okay. So what we want to do quickly is we want to go back up to... Wow, check this out. The horse has a run speed of 48. R1 has 42. And I don't think that takes into account quadruped, which I think speeds things up a little bit. So we'll have to look into that. Yeah, so anyway, let's just see what we have here. So we have Loyal, which I think we'll just... how do we want to put this in? I think, okay, what we'll do is we'll create a... Whoop, there we go. No, please. There we go. Copy. Alright, what we'll do is we'll create a handout. There we are. Handout. Sure. It will go down here. There it is. And we'll put it above the mount, and we'll say Rough Riders... Mount, Rough Rider mount, and then we'll put it in the description so that we can refer to it when needed. There's a lot of this that happens. Oh, we have to do this, god damn it. Okay, so Loyal does this. There we go, Loyal. The other ones we took are Terrain Master and Wiry. Oh, we can do both of them. Okay, that works for me. Ah, piss. Piss and vinegar. There we go. Yep. So, huh, and then huh, and then huh. Ran out of bullets, didn't retreat, they just didn't get as many kills they're expecting until the second attempt. Unless he is human. Okay, so we're talking about the emus, that's cool. I'm just making sure that I'm not missing anything. Okay. So that's Terrain Master, that's Wiry, and now we have to go and check out a few other things, which is going to take us over to here, up to, oh, easy, up to here, and then we're going to go search for traits. Where are the traits? Where are the traits? Character creation, skills, talents and traits, 154. Okay. 154. Actually, we should do the talents first, sheepy, you idiot. So, hard target. H. Go, 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 go. Hotshot pilot. Hard target, there we go. Light on his feet, the character dodges and weaves as he moves. Skills learned from long years. When the character performs a charge or run action, opponents suffer -20 penalty to ballistic skill tests made to hit the character with a ranged weapon. So if this guy runs, the orcs will get -20 to their ballistic skill, which means a lot of the orcs will need like they'll need to roll under a 10-ish. Maybe some of them will be rolling at a 0, so they can't actually hit. That's really interesting. Okay, I like hard target. This is gonna... Okay. Don't know why some of that has been copied, but sure. Alright, why not? So, hard target. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So it actually goes until the end of the character's next turn. So technically speaking, these guys got to be really strong against the tanks. Because they can charge and do their hit, and then they'll get attacked, but it'll be a -20. Okay. So what's the next thing we had on them? So that's hard target. We've got sprint, which is a talent. And then I think all the others are traits. Okay. So sprint. Character can move at great speeds. When taking a full move action, the character can move an extra number of meters equal to their agility bonus. When taking the run action, the character may double their movement for 1 round. The current... Oh god, okay, that's ridiculous. I like it. So what you're saying is it's time to melee the tanks? Pretty much. They're going to have anti-tank lances, so... These guys are actually super... I'm into the... I'm really into the Rough Rider Regiment. They're going to be super useful. So, when taking full move, extra number of meters equal to their agility bonus. So on the full move, they can actually move 19 meters on just like a full move action. When they run, they can currently run 84 meters in 6 seconds. because the length of time of turn is okay. That's interesting. 84 meters. Why not? They can technically move faster than quite a few bullets. They're pretty nice so far. Yes, they are. Okay, so what's next? Bestial size, natural weapons, loyal. Okay, so unnatural agility and quadruped. We need to look into those. Quadruped and so Q. There we go. Quadrupeds are much quicker over distance than their bipedal counterparts. Their movement is double that normally indicated by their agility bonus. See page 29. This trait is intended to cover creatures with hind legs and forepaws. Creatures with more than 4 legs may gain this trait as well, increasing their movement as indicated above, but adding an additional 2 after doubling for their final movement rate for each set of legs beyond the first 2 pairs. Okay, so quadruped. So it's basically going to be unnatural agility 4, and then wait, is that right? Because it's double that indicated by their agility bonus. So it. Okay, we're on 157. We need to go to 29. I need to see what the agility, like how the running works on agility. That doesn't help me. Okay, cool. Running narrative time. Narrative time movement. No, that's not what I want. I want movement. I want forced marching, structured movement. Okay, so agility bonus of 3 is that. So agility bonus of 6 is that. So, and then it doubles that. Do lance weapons get a bonus for how fast the mount is going? I hope so. That'd be funny. I think it's... So it would be 6. So that would be like... Can I put the agility bonus in here? No. So I think it's unnatural agility 4 for the quadruped. No, it'd be, if we're already on 3, then it would be unnatural agility 3, and then we also have unnatural agility 2. So it'd be unnatural agility 5. How's that work? Yeah, unnatural agility 5. Okay. So 156 is, I think, where we were. Just gonna double read this. The page in the PDF is 1 offset, so page 29 you have to go to, yeah. Okay, so we were close. Size, so we're like bestial 5, so basic movement, agility bonus +1. Is that another? Size affects movement. When calculating movement, apply the size modifier first, and then the other modifiers from traits or talents. For the purposes of comparison, human is size 4. Note the creature's movement cannot be reduced to less than 1. Okay, can I change the size on this? Here we go. So it's 5. Which has adjusted the speed. Okay, so I don't need to adjust the speed for the size. Okay, cool. that means that when it runs 132 meters in 6 seconds. In a charge, it would charge. It can charge like two charge. It would charge. I think it's double, so 66 meters. Hey, Doomsday. So what you're saying is it can charge. What I'm saying is it can run. It can run just regular. Yeah, like our full movement would be a full move, which is basically like a casual kind of battle movement, as it were. They can move like 30 meters or so, I think. And they double the movement. So for running, so yeah, it's 132. They aren't heavy lancers though. That's the ones that only charge. The heavy lancers add basically their mount adds an attack to their charge. See, because the heavy lancers are meant for infantry. If I took the heavy lancers, they'd be really good at getting the infantry because the mount would like knock them over and stuff. You can't really do that to a tank, which is why I didn't take heavy lancers. So 79.2 kilometers per hour. Apparently, yeah. 132 meters in 6 seconds. Damn, that's fast. Yeah. We're gonna have to figure out exactly what these guys are as well. Damn. Okay. So, is there any way to kind of figure out? No, not really. So, just having a look here and trying to decide what might work. I'm thinking like this. Oh. Sheepy's doing well here. There we go. Yeah, there you go. I'm thinking something like kind of like an ibex or something like bigger and more kind of extended. So kind of like the size of a bison, maybe. Not really, yeah, kind of moose size, but a bit more goat looking, if you know what I mean. Like, maybe drifting into deer. Because they're gonna have to be nimble. So like, what's the name of the So maybe something. That one doesn't work. I was like looking at for a. So maybe something like this. That GIF's not gonna work. God damn it. Give me a second. There we go. Maybe something a bit like this. A bit like maybe some horns with it, because the horns would just mostly be for look, you know? And also, if they ever did attack with it, then, yeah, you could use the horns as the weapons. But I'm thinking something along those lines. Let's see if we can... Okay, yes. So, that. Trying to see if I can find something appropriate for this. That kind of works, but... Okay, so that could work. Or this could work. So, what do you guys think of, like, either something along the lines of this? Maybe, like, a bit less chunky and a bit more, like extended neck, like, lesser horns, but a bit more, like, agile looking. Or, like, even something along the lines of this, so, like, kind of dog-like and stag-like at the same time? I don't know. Moose-like, giant killer deer sounds nice. Are they like elves riding deer? Yeah, the mountain goat thing did appeal to me because of the rough terrain. Can I post a link here? Yeah, sure, mate, sure. Okay. I don't know what that is. That's so weird. That's like on my... I don't know what that red circle is. Okay, well let's just ignore it, shall we, everyone? Yeah, actually, this would be a good another good example. Be a little bit like this, maybe a bit thinner. Maybe a bit. What I may say is like, because I think we're gonna have to get this drawn, so I may talk to the artist who did my last stuff. I want to say B-boy, but it's not B-boy. It's Boyfruit. There we go. I'll talk to him and ask him if he's down for it, and if he is, hopefully he is. I'll basically give him a mountain goat and a kind of stag. No Emperor cow art, mate. I'd love Emperor cow art, but when I get mine done, it's a significant amount of money. Like, if you'd like a rough estimate of how much the regimental art, like how much I paid for the regimental art is 5 pictures, it would be in the hundreds. So, yeah. Fun fact, that deer sounds exactly like Sheepy. This is my life. What, I sound exactly like a mix between a deer and a goat? Really? It's interesting how you see me, Urkel. See, I think that's what we're gonna go with. Commissions are expensive as fuck, but they can look so good. Yeah, I mean, check this out. Like, let's just I'll give you the like originals as they came in, because it's such a nice. Here we go. Okay, so there and there and there and there and there. Okay, so can I do like a full screen? It's like, oh, that's good enough. So yeah, these are all the art of all of the regiments. It's the Breath of the Emperor. Look at that. Look how fucking like badass that is. commissions are expensive as fuck. Could look good. What noises do these elk goat creatures make? Are you trying to get me to do another animal noise? Because apparently my animal noises, like the monkey, have been good. I don't know. I'd have to have a think about it. I'd have to prepare it so I didn't make an ass out of myself. It'd probably be like a goat noise, like it's like really dumb. Yeah, so this is Breath of the Emperor. You can see like the like canister they have attached to them there. And then, you know, just kind of like generic weapons, because yeah. It's very cool. And then there's the Atlas Sisyphean Guard. You can see they've got like a chain sword type thing, a lasgun. They've, you know, like they look like a fortress themselves. It's basically like how I described what I wanted. And then they have this kind of like dwarfish style helmet there as well, which I really love. The Imperial Line Regiment, number blah 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 blah. I love the art for these guys just because of the coloring. Like, the coloring's exactly what I wanted. And they look so generic while at the same time being super kind of like suspicious, which is exactly what they needed to be. So yeah. Imperial Pegasi Guard, perfect, so good. That did completely what the Imperial Pegasi Guard would look like, really. Also, do they shed? Oh yeah, they shed all over the fucking place, definitely. I think they're going to be reasonably hairy. And then the Naboom Banshees. Again, yeah. Oof. Great fucking art. One thing we do need to do, however, is we need to go back and we need to go to our war gear so we can, so you guys can see the type of weapons they're going to be using. Oh, okay. So we got some las weapons, some solid projectiles, naval pistol, ripper pistol, yeah. Bolt and flame, got a bolt pistol, assault flamer, blowgun, javelin, signaling device. It's a pistol. Launcher weapons, automatic mortar, automatic grenade launcher. So that's literally like a machine, like a, not a machine gun, but like a semi-auto machine gun that fires grenades. Tread feather. I don't know what that is. Missile tube. Okay. So it's a portable missile launcher that basically, it's like a disposable thing, I think. Frag grenades, iron eater grenade. What does that do? Acid. Wow. Okay, cool. Corrosive. Penetration 5. Nice. Tube charge. More powerful than a frag grenade. Better suited for combat use than the bulky demolition charge. Okay, so it's kind of like a... Did we find out yet why the Line Regiment is suspicious? Their commander is such a boring person, he's the equivalent of an assassin. People just ignore him, even if he's doing something blatantly suspicious. Yeah. Their regiment got really good gear, and there is... I expected it has something to do with the anvil badges. We might get into that, and sooner than you might think, interestingly. Chain axe, chain flail, chain glaive, chain knife, lots of chain shit. Power and force weapons. I'm thinking about them having cavalry sabers, but... Or even like power spears. But that would probably be officers for the cavalry sabers and that kind of thing. Like, most likely they'd have... is there spears here? Blowgun, javelin. Javelins would actually be interesting, weirdly enough. Yeah. Command baton, shock glove, suppression shield, axe. They probably have cavalry spears. Proven unbalanced. I think that would probably be where most of them went to. What are the stats for the chain knife? Okay, chain knife. There it is. 1d10 plus 1, rending, penetration 2, tearing. So it would be 2d10, drop the lowest. Actually not terrible. It's a good knife. I love the sound of this regiment. Yeah, it's gonna be nice to get a new regiment in. And here are the hunting lance tips. Inferno tip, crack tip, melter tip, plasma tip, poison tip, shock tip. Although too cumbersome to do in the midst of combat, it's possible to reload a hunting lance. Wait, do we get a hunting? Yeah, hunting lance tips. While hunting lances are by far most commonly fitted with a powerful explosive charge, many variants have been implemented over the millennia. Often this is due to quirk of a regiment's homeworld, or more rarely, rediscovery of a lost weapon pattern by a forge world. Hunting lance may be equipped with any of the alternate tips detailed in this selection, replacing the standard weapon profile given on page 185. Of the only war... Okay. 185, okay. Hunting lance. 2d10 plus 3, explosive, penetration, concussive. Oh. Is there a picture? I'd love if there was a picture of that. Because they do it. No, there's not. Yeah. The lance, most commonly used by Imperial Rough Riders, is tipped with explosive charge which blows apart on impact, shattering armor and flesh alike. Yeah. Okay. Melter would probably be their mainstay since they are anti-vehicle. Melter's kind of rare. It might be crack. Okay, so let's just copy that. And then that can go into here. No, that's the Rough Rider mount. There we go, thank you. Done a good job. That is also the mount, thank you. The Rough Riders, there they are. Okay, so down here, get the hunting lance. Boom. Okay. We'll go back to here. Nope. Back to here. Yes. And we'll go and search for the... Okay. So, let's have a look here. Proven. We might need to see what proven does. I'm pretty sure it would be here. If we go down to the... Apologies when it gets a little bit scrolly, guys, and I'm not looking stuff up, but it's worth finding out some of these things. We need the... Where the fuck is it? The traits. No, not vehicle traits. I need weapon traits. Special qualities 169. There we go. It will depend on the gear roll for the commander, but I imagine they'll be able to get crack at the very least. The one they'll probably want is crack, which is concussive 3. What does that do? Concussive, deafening blast or shockwave. Target struck by must take a toughness test. So the people inside the tanks would probably have to do this. So it'd be minus 30 toughness test. Otherwise, they're stunned for one round per degree of failure. Additionally, if the target takes damage greater than his strength bonus, he is knocked prone. Interesting. Okay. But wait, what weapon do they use after they impact something with the lance if said target isn't dead yet? They have las pistols currently, but I might give them las carbines. So proven 2 and unbalanced. Okay. Oh no, that's there. So proven, I think. That's lance weapons, not lances. Proven. There we go. Weapons with proven quality always inflict a massive trauma and treat any dice roll for damage lower than the proven rating, as indicated by the number in parentheses. Okay, so thus proven weapon 3 would treat any damage roll of 1, 2, or 3 as a 3. Okay, so that's proven 2. So the damage would always be minimum 2. So the minimum damage you could get on a crack tip would be 4 plus 5, 9. With penetration of 8. So, to a tank, you'd always do minimum 8 damage every charge. And yeah, you get 2 lances. So, in a squad of 5, you would have 10 lances. The melter tip is 2d10 plus 10 with penetration 24, so also would be really good. The plasma tip is 3d10 plus 3, penetration 8, but it overheats and is unwieldy. The poison tip, obviously they probably won't be using that, or the shock tip. Inferno tip, also, again, probably wouldn't use. Most enemies do not expect that their heavy vehicles will be targeted by casualty, giving edge to Rough Rider squads equipped with melter-tipped hunting lances. So, attacks with the melter tip suffers minus 10. So, like, maybe they might have a crack tip and a melter tip, possibly, if they can manage it. Yeah, which is why they probably act in companies, like raiding companies, you know, so a bit smaller than regular companies, enough to take out like enough to like hit and run the tanks and get away before they engage the troops, which is probably what these guys are going to be doing. So these guys are kind of going to be raiders probably to a certain extent, and they probably act independently of each other as well. So it's like, set them loose on this specific enemy to take out their dreadnoughts and their tanks and their, you know, all that kind of thing. I have a feeling that this regiment is going to get shot to bits, if not against heavier vehicles. See, the interesting thing is, the way I've built them... Here, let me give you an example. Okay, so Rough Riders, that's good. That's going to be everything we need for the Rough Riders for now. So check this out. One of the things they have is... No, it's their mounts. Where are the Rough Rider mount? There it is. One of the things they have is hard target. When they charge or run, they have minus 20 penalty to people shooting them with a ranged weapon. Penalty continues until the start of the next turn. So technically speaking, they can charge in, and for example, this is a speed freak. So these are the guys who will be firing the guns. They have a 22 ballistic skill, which means that any of the tanks trying to shoot them with their guns and everything would need a 2 or a 1 to hit them on a charge. And then when they're running away the next turn, they'd need a 2 or a 1 on a D100. Technically speaking, they can hit, but it's... So like a war bike goes 75 kilometers per hour. Tactical speed is 18 meters per move. And this is like their most maneuverable. The Rough Riders can... No, that's not there. The Rough Rider mount can go if they're... No, still the wrong one. Wow, what's wrong with me? The Rough Rider mount can go 66 at a run, and when they run it's doubled, so they can go 132. So they can... In tactical speed, they can go about 100 times faster than the bike. Ish. Yeah, this is the thing. Dealing with infantry is going to be a problem for them. They can probably still fight them, but they're not going to be super effective against the infantry. They're going to be effective against the... They're going to be effective against tanks And things like dreadnoughts, if they don't kill the dreadnought can melee them, because they'll charge, and then the tips will hit, and when they charge it and hit a dreadnought, it can then melee them. So yeah, what they're basically going to be doing the whole time is hitting and moving, pretty much. So. Well, I think that's everything for now. We've done the Rough Riders. They should stick around, the Emperor's Breath Regiment, to make sure that's not a problem. Yeah, the Emperor's Breath can charge the infantry, and the Rough Riders can, you know, like, hit and run the tanks. Could be a good combo. But yeah, no, that's the regiment. What I probably will do in the future is I'll probably have an Imperial, like a few more regiments designed as like regiments inside regiments. So we may get like a super heavy tank regiment for the At Last Sisyphean Regiment. And that's something that we'll work on as we go. So, what we're going to do now, everyone, thank you everyone who watched and who followed and who enjoyed the thing. Seeing as we were doing D&D and everything like that, we're going to raid on over to Table Story, who are doing D&D and things like that. So thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Love you all. We're going to end here because Sheepy needs to eat and do all these other things. So, thank you. Much love. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Next week will be same time, 7 PM UK, 2 PM EST. And we'll be doing the At Last Sisyphean Regiment. They're going down to Hive Basterne. It's going to be interesting. See you later.